Welcome, everyone, to the L7C podcast NFL edition. Today, for the first time in the L7C, we're joining the Reaction Monday sports talk, recording on a Monday right after that Monday night football game with the Chargers and the Broncos. We got the NFL expert and the producer with us, Mr. Justin Ackendale. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing good, brother. It's been a long ass day. That game did not help anything. I just had to sit through for the past 3 hours. Actually, 4 hours. It's almost fucking midnight, but God, that game sucked.
Yeah, went into overtime. Another Broncos primetime game in OT.
Yeah, they don't disappoint on primetime. I mean, the games are, terrible, shitty, no offense. Russell Wilson and the offense can't do anything, but they go down the wire and they're definitely entertaining and drama filled. I'll give you that.
Right. But there were some very big games this weekend, two in particular, and one surprise shock we're going to talk about. But let's talk about the game of the week, the game that the NFL made sure there was no other games that you could really watch on at 425. The Bills at Arrowhead, the rematch of the divisional playoff game. Justin, take it away.
Yeah, this game was it was really everything that I thought that you were going to see in this game, except that they didn't both score 30 points. Like, it had both Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes going off. We're going to start things off in the second quarter. It's 7-3 after a Juju Smith 42-yard catch and run. Crazy, breaks the tackle, goes 44 yards. We go into the second quarter. They punt the ball to Buffalo with a minute 29 left and pinned Buffalo deep into the end zone. Buffalo, the first two plays of the drive, lose yards. So they're at the 4-yard line. They're backed up to the 2. Then Josh Allen rings off 4 straight completions and then hit Gabe Davis for a touchdown with 16 seconds left. So right now it's 10-7 Buffalo. And then Patrick Mahomes with 16 seconds left gets it down for 62-yard field goal by Harrison Buckner. So it's 10-10 going into halftime. First drive, KC misses a 51-yard field goal after the 62-yard make. Buffalo scores a touchdown after that short field. KC answers the next drive with a touchdown after Juju, another 41-yard completion on that drive. Juju had an amazing game. Best
game of the year.
Best game as a Kansas City Chief that I was going to say. Bills, they don't convert a 4th down after the Kansas City touchdown. KC gets the ball back, gets a field goal. It's 27 going into the fourth quarter. The next drive after the field goal, this is when Chris Jones gets the sack on Josh Allen, and there was controversy with it because it was a trip. My view on that is I literally have never seen a ref call a defensive lineman for tripping a quarterback. So I was okay with it. Then Kansas City goes 3 and out after the sack by Chris Jones because Von Miller gets a sack on the third down. So now the defensive stars in this fourth quarter starting to get into the action, starting to get sacks, starting to get stops. And then KC kicks the ball back to the Bills with about 5 minutes left. And this is the drive that wins Buffalo the game. Josh Allen is throwing the ball a lot to Stephon Diggs this drive. He's running the ball. The highlight of that drive was a 16-yard run by Allen. He hurdles over a DB. DB scores with a minute 04 left. So we're like, everyone at home, like, oh shit, we left Patrick Mahomes way too much time. A minute 04, needs a touchdown. He throws a pick. On the second play of that drive, game over. Game was crazy. Like, I thought that it was going to come down to whoever had the ball last, and essentially it was. Patrick Mahomes just threw a pick on his last drive, but I had no doubt that if he would have got rolling and didn't throw that interception, they would have answered back with a touchdown. Bills surprisingly ran the ball with the running back a lot more in this game than they have all season. I mean, they had 125 yards rushing. Devin Singletary had 85 of that. Stephon Diggs went off 13 targets, 10 catches, 148 yards. Kelsey did his thing, 10 targets, 8 catches, 108 yards. Juju Smith-Schuster, 5 targets, 5 catches on those targets, 113 yards, a touchdown. And the rest of the box score was pretty much even. I mean, passing yards was pretty much even. First downs were pretty much even. It's just two teams that are pretty goddamn evenly matched, and they're probably going to see each other again in the playoffs. But Buffalo winning this game, Tony Romo said the whole telecast yesterday that whoever wins this game has an inside track to getting home field advantage, getting that number one seed in the AFC, and Buffalo just took a big step in securing that for them in the playoffs later.
Do you agree, Romo?
Yeah, I do agree with him. Like this game was important. They're both these teams are 1-2 in the AFC right now, and Buffalo has the tiebreaker, the head-to-head tiebreaker.
So with this game, and the thing with Buffalo too that I was most impressed with, they won a close game for once. Because typically
Yeah,
they're either blowing you out or they lose the close games.
that's correct. They aren't very good in close games, and a lot of them in the NFL comes down to luck and of course execution. And they haven't been lucky. They haven't been executing in those spots. In this game specifically, they definitely did, especially with that drive at the end of the second quarter going to halftime. Getting that, scoring a touchdown from your own 2 yard line at the end of the half like that is just huge. This is what contenders do. It's what teams that Super Bowl favorites like the Bills currently are do. They score the ball, they put points on the board, touchdowns on the board when it's deep in the first half and second half of games.
Yeah, and like you already have their next like to win that game to go into a bye. That's perfect.
Yeah.
And then looking at their next four games of Green Bay, the Jets, Minnesota, Cleveland, the current league of the NFL right now, their hardest games is the Jets and Minnesota in the next four.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are four winnable games for them. The NFL be fucking wacky, so I don't expect them to go 4-0 there in that stretch. But yeah, they set themselves up nicely. It ain't over for Kansas City. I mean, we just watched two of the teams in their division for almost 4 hours on Monday. And do you really believe in the Chargers? Do you really believe in Denver? The Raiders are 1-4, and they're coming off a bye next week, so we'll see about them. But yeah, KC is at the top of their division. There's nothing that I've seen in the first 6 weeks of the season to think that any other team in that division can contend with them right now.
Yeah, Chargers are 4-2, but currently KC has the tiebreaker because they beat them, and they'll obviously get another game. I would just be careful now because they just lost that game, and then they have to go to San Francisco, who's going to have something to prove after they also being upset on by Atlanta. So, but I think I agree they'll be fine. But like you had on their next four games, they'll have that game at the Chargers, and that's really going to shape up who basically wins the West because the other two teams are non-existent.
Yeah, and about the San Francisco, yeah, a lot of guys hurt. Like I bet on Atlanta to win that game. That was just a tough spot for the 49ers. It was two back-to-back games on the East Coast for them. They played the worst team in the NFL last week, Carolina. I think they stayed on the East Coast to play Atlanta, and they have a lot of guys hurt right now. Trent Williams isn't playing. Their left tackle Eric Armstead is out, so they got a lot of guys who are out right now. So keep your eye on the 49ers later in the year when they can get healthier. But I don't see them win that game next week against Kansas City the way that they're just beat up right now.
Man, we also had your Cowboys Sunday Night Football at the undefeated Eagles. The Cooper Rush train still picking up fans. How did that game go?
Yeah, you're going to help me out there in the third quarter because I checked out the third quarter. I started watching House of Dragons. I'm like, oh, fuck this game. Like Cooper Rush already turned the ball over. Like that come back next week. We didn't even get to that point. But yeah, Eagles won the game 26-17. The Eagles were up 20-3 at halftime, and they only scored 6 points in the second half. They have been outscored in every second half this year except one, and that was in the Jacksonville game. Cooper Rush threw 3 picks. 2 of them were just absolutely terrible picks. Like, no defending them. Totally his fault. Cowboys outgained the Eagles in yards. We were better at rushing the ball on like per rush than the Eagles. We had one less first down than the Eagles. We had better yards per play in the Eagles. It was just the 3 turnovers and the 10 penalties that fucked us. I feel like if Dak's in that game, less turnovers, ball moves is moving a little bit better, and it's just a different game. You don't get into that 20-3 hole. The Eagles, especially in the first half, they were not blocking Michael Parsons and just using him and just reading off of him in their like RPO system, which it was affecting the defense because that's how they were able to get up 20-3 on us. But like I said, the Eagles need to figure out their second half issues, because if you're not scoring in the second half, I really can't consider you a contender. But I mean, the Eagles' next 4 games are the Steelers, at the Texans, Washington, Indy. So they're not really going to face an offense or a team that can really challenge them in the second half until they play the Cowboys again. That's not until week 16. So yeah, the Eagles are probably going to have home field advantage throughout the NFC playoffs. And just looking at the schedule, like, it's not a hard schedule at all. Same for the Cowboys. This is a little tougher than the Eagles, but not as easy as the Eagles got it. So yeah, Eagles inside track for the division crown and the home field advantage in the NFC.
Yeah, with that game too, like you said, it already started. It started 20-3. I thought the game was going to be over too, but Dallas showed resiliency and fought back, which is encouraging for Dallas that they didn't just fold. They fought back. They had chances to win that game. Cooper Rush just couldn't make those plays when he threw those 3 picks. I think reality set for a lot of Cowboy fans. Like, there's no QB controversy. He played the best he could during those games, and then he finally played back to his level. So, like you said, Dak's coming back. If you keep doing what you were doing, not having Dak force anything, Cowboys, which I didn't say they go to the playoffs, but now they probably are. They stay the course. They'll be fine.
Yeah, but Cooper Rush, he absolutely did his job. Like, when Dak got hurt and we had to play Cooper Rush against the Bengals, we were a 7.5 point favorite. Like, no one thought we were going to win that game, and Cooper Rush went 3-1 while Dak was out. Like, he did exactly what he needed to do. So big ups to Cooper Rush, because he did his job. He was going to get exposed eventually, and the Eagles, they're a really good football team. The defense is on point. The offense is on point in the first half. So yeah, shout outs to him. We get Dak back. Got the Lions next week. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah. I mean, with Cooper, like, it was easier for him to do his job because also during that stretch, the Cowboys were the best defense in the NFL. Like, when you're playing from behind 20-3 and you have to abandon the run game and Cooper's throwing, you're prone to more mistakes.
That's correct. It was a defensive story. Like, the defense really carried the team these past 4 games, and hopefully Dak and the offense can take a little bit of pressure off the defense when he gets back and once the offense gets moving again. They're going to need it against the Lions coming off a bye, because the Lions can put up some fucking points.
Yes, they can. Yes, they can.
And they should have their guys back, St. Brown and DeAndre Swift back. So yeah, it's going to be a good game next week, Cowboys Lions.
And then we also have a surprise game that we're going to be talking about. Ravens at the Giants.
Yeah, the Giants won 24-20. They're 5-1 on the season. I gotta give the Giants credit for just hanging around, but they were outplayed this whole game. They were outgained 406 yards to 238. They were outgained yards per play wise. The Ravens had 7 yards per play to the Giants 3.8. What else? I mean, Law didn't have Ravens had more first downs, better rushing. It was just the penalties that killed Baltimore. So the game going into the fourth quarter. Oh yeah, and the Giants on third down, they were 50%. They have 50% conversion rate. I gotta give the credit to Brian Dable there. That's coaching right there, just executing on third downs.
NFL Coach of the Year right now.
Yeah, having the plays to pick up those conversions, because if you can keep drives going and just keep it moving, you can stay in games, and that's exactly what they did. They just waited for the Ravens to fuck it up. So in the fourth quarter, Ravens had the ball and they were up 20-17 with about 4 minutes left to play. The Ravens are in the in this mode, in this point of the game, they're thinking we're about to hold this onto this ball and run the clock out. Like, we got this. We got this shit.
Mm-hmm.
They get a first down. They're at about midfield, get the first down, gets the game because of the penalty. I can't remember what penalty it was, but it was a stupid penalty. So after so they got a replay third down. Lamar snaps the ball, fumbles it. But instead of just, it's third down, remember. So they're at midfield. If he just picks the ball up, runs it, sees there's not shit there, because there was not shit there when he threw this ball, and just throws it away, they can kick the ball. Then then the Giants got to drive from at least the 25 or maybe even further back to get in the field goal, to get in the field goal range to potentially tie the game up. This motherfucker throws it into like triple coverage, awesome bullshit, and fucking gets the ball picked off. Just terrible decision making by Lamar Jackson. Like, I can't defend it at all. And then the Giants get the ball. They're driving. Daniel Jones throws a pick to Marcus Peters. Oh, guess what? The penalty's negated because this clown fucking holds on it. So they get a holding penalty, and then the Giants score, and then Giants scores 24-20. Ravens got about 2 minutes left, and they got timeouts, but then Lamar Jackson gets sacked, fumble, and then that just ends the game. So big ups to the Giants for just staying around. Like I said, the Ravens essentially just lost themselves the game. Penalties and turnovers, that was it. But I mean, yeah, the Giants keep winning, but despite that, I do not think they're a contender at all. They're only going to make the playoffs because the NFC is so weak. Like, that mid card of the NFC, so the teams like Arizona, New Orleans, the Atlanta Falcons now, Seahawks. I really don't think the Giants are that much better than them. Daniel Jones has only thrown for more than 200 yards once this season. The Giants, 5 wins this season. Start off week 1 against the Titans. That's a good one. We'll give them that. That was, I think it was at Tennessee too. The Panthers the week after, who was the worst team in football in my opinion. So say what you want about them. They beat the Bears, one of the worst offenses in the league. Packers spiraling team. We all know about the Packers and then the Ravens this game. So most of these wins are less than a touchdown. So we'll see how long that stays. With all that said, I do like the Giants to make the playoffs. Their schedule's easy. It's a theme in the NFC East. All teams got an easier draw than the rest. They got to go to Jacksonville next week. They got Seattle in 2 weeks. They're bye. Houston, Detroit, and then add their 5th game, which is Thanksgiving against the Cowboys. So, yeah, I think the Giants are going to keep winning, but once they get into the playoffs, I don't see them making any type of noise at all.
Well, I think something that needs to be like defined, like when you say contender, you mean who can win the Super Bowl, right?
In this specific case, yes.
Okay. So
I don't see a way how they don't make the playoffs at this point unless they just go on a complete losing streak with the way things are going. But it's still kind of early, so that could happen.
I mean, because even if we're using that definition for contenders to win the Super Bowl, there's only probably 6 teams. If we're doing that, you look at the 5-1 Vikings. I don't think they're a contender to win the Super Bowl. I don't. I mean, what's the difference between them and the Giants? Record 5-1. Who would the Vikings be?
I like their quarterback a lot better than the Giants.
You like their quarterback a lot better? He hasn't proven himself in the playoffs. Defense travels. Giants have a better defense. If the game gets gritty,
I like his weapons a lot more. The Minnesota Vikings will be at home if that does happen. If they do play each other, the Giants aren't going to. They're not going to get home field advantage or any type of home field advantage. So they're going to be on the road for all these games.
I
just don't see it.
I agree, but I'm just going to your thing, the Vikings have not beat anybody.
I like their Dolphins win. It was against Teddy Bridgewater in the third stringer. Let me see. Let me look at some of their other games. I guess I can't remember all the wins off the top. Oh, you're right. The Vikings haven't beat a goddamn person either.
No, so it's just one of those things like I said, in the NFL, the end result is when you wake up, did you win or not? They're 5-1 right now. If they continue winning, they're going to take a spot from someone we said we're going to make the playoffs. Like currently, right now, if the playoffs started today, the Packers would be out. Obviously, the Saints, who we picked to win the NFC South, that is not happening. But they got to keep winning. Their coach is the coach of the year. Their defense, their Saquon's reminding people who the hell he is. So, and Daniel Jones is not turning the ball over. I'm not saying he's great, but if you're not turning the ball over, you're limiting the other team's offensive possessions. You're trusting that defense. It's almost the same thing that what y'all were doing with Cooper Rush. You have him play within the system and have your defense take care of everything.
Yeah, I agree. They got me kind of hot trying to compare the Giants to the Vikings. I ain't even going to hold you, bro. The Giants can, I mean, the Vikings can win the Super Bowl. I mean, not
they
win.
Can't win the Super Bowl.
They can't win it. They can definitely fucking get there. They're probably going to be the number one, two.
They won't get
the
there.
number 2 seed in the NFC. I don't think the Eagles are that much better than the Vikings, even though they did whoop the dog shit out of them Monday night. The Eagles didn't score after the second half in that game.
They're not, but fully healthy, I'm taking the 49ers over the Vikings.
Shit, they going to be healthy by then?
Well,
I like Jimmy. I like Kirk Cousins a lot more than Jimmy G.
I like every weapon on the 49ers, especially the defense. Kirk Cousins won't even get a chance to throw the ball. And their coach is more proven. That's the other thing, too. I don't believe in the coach, so. And this is the NFL. You got a coach.
Yeah, Kevin McConnell, first year head coach out the McVay system. I don't know. I'm still high on the Vikings. They play they got a bye week this week, but they play Arizona out the bye. And Arizona's real, and they get D Hop back. I think Thursday.
Arizona has to win on Thursday. Their season's done.
Yeah, they get D Hop back on Thursday.
And they also just got Robbie Henderson today.
I like the Saints in that game, even with Andy Dalton. The Saints are a good team. Even though they haven't been winning, but I still like the Saints. I still think they can do something. I haven't given up on yet.
Because currently, right now, I mean, Super Bowl contenders for me, Bills, Chiefs, and this is if everyone's fully healthy. Bills, Chiefs, there are no Eagles, 49. I can't even say Tampa Bay right now because they look awful.
Yeah, we're about to talk about the teams that who got upset.
I only got like 4 right, and this is at right now. And now the Bengals are starting to pick it up a little bit. Still can't block Joe Burrow, but they're still winning now. But go ahead and talk about these upsets.
Yeah, so there were some big upsets on Sunday. So we're about to do a little segment. Which team is the most in trouble? Out of these 4 teams, we have the 49ers who lost to the Falcons 28-14. We have the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers. They lost to the Jets 27-10. The Ravens, who we talked about earlier, they lost to the Giants 24-20. And then the Bucks, who went to Pittsburgh and lost to the Steelers and Mitch Trubisky after Kenny Pickett got a concussion 20-18. Which team do you think is most in trouble?
1A on those 4 is the Packers. The only reason being that I'm picking them over the Bucks is because the Bucks are they're in a worser division, and the Packers have the Minnesota Vikings. And I think currently, if the Giants and the Cowboys stay true, and they keep winning, the Green Bay Packers will not make the playoffs because they're not going to win the division. So I think the 49ers will be fine when they're fully healthy. Ravens, they'll get it together, but I'm taking the Packers slightly over the Bucks because the Bucks can still win the NFC South because the NFC South is terrible, even though there is 3-3 Atlanta there. But
Don't
taking
sleep
the
on
Packers.
don't sleep on the Falcons, man. Don't sleep on the Falcons.
Well, when they start realizing they drafted a tight end with the fourth overall pick and they actually throwing the ball, then we can talk. But I have the Packers in process of they won't make the playoffs. They keep playing like this.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. The Packers are in some shit. I don't think they're going to end up. I don't think they're going to catch. I don't think they're going to catch the Vikings. They got Washington this week, and then
win.
Yeah,
Carson Wentz not even playing. He might be out for 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, Carson Wentz just had finger surgery, and then they got the Bills after that.
Oh, they're gonna get killed.
Yeah, they got the Bills Sunday Night Football in 2 weeks, and then at the Lions, and then they play us the 13th after our bye. Cowboys off a bye. So yeah, I definitely think the Packers are in trouble. I mean, losing to both New York teams back to back is definitely troubling. It's definitely something that I didn't think that will happen. I thought the Jets could probably cover that spread. They were a 7.5 point favorite, but I had no idea. I did not think they were going to win that game outright at Lambeau. No way.
It was close for me though, because the Bucks are bad. That was bad, man, because Pittsburgh literally could have lost by 80 points last week to the Bills. And then they come and beat you. And then you have Brady yelling at the line. They did not look good at all. And it's also the fact, too, I mean, that Tom skipped the walkthroughs, went to Kraft's secret surprise wedding, whatever the hell the thing was. Like, they don't look all there, bro. They really don't. And it's not like they didn't have all their weapons. All their weapons played, and they lost to the Steelers, who I think are one of the worst offense. They might be the worst offensive team in the league because they were terrible.
Hey, man, that's all Mike Tomlin. That is the Mike Tomlin spot. They got their ass whooped against Buffalo the week before. Tampa Bay is coming to town. Tom Brady ain't even going to walkthroughs. He's like, nigga,
yes,
I gotta go to Kraft's wedding. I mean, it's just the Steelers. It's just Kenny Pickett. Like, we got this shit. You know, Tomlin, rah. He had the boys fired the fuck up. And I don't know how they did. Steelers had some injuries in the secondary. Minkah Fitzpatrick's not playing. TJ Watt's not playing, and they're able to get the job done. So that was just a bad spot for Tampa. That's just the Tomlin rah spot. But
yeah, Bill Belichick and the Patriots people got invited to the wedding, and they said no, we have a game.
Yeah. Bill Belichick did not go, and you saw what they did to the Browns. But you know, Bill Belichick get up to play the Browns. He still sorry about them niggas firing him way back when, which is crazy to me. Fucking 6 Super Bowls later, and he's still fucking like, Cleveland, fuck him. But yeah, I mean the Bucks, that shit was very concerning. Next couple of games, they got the worst team in the NFL, the Carolina Panthers next week. The Ravens in 2 weeks on Monday Night Football. A Thursday night game? I don't know. What day is the 27th?
Remember, that's a Thursday because the 30th is a Sunday, 29th is Saturday, 28th Friday. Yeah.
Okay, so they got Carolina. They got Carolina this coming week, and then off the short week, Baltimore, then the Rams, then the Seahawks, bye, and then Cleveland that Thanksgiving weekend. So yeah, I think Tom Brady gets his shit together by Thanksgiving. That's typically when Tom Brady starts getting in his bag. I think the Bucks will be, if the Bucks are still looking like this by that Browns game, then we need to have a therapy session for their fans and figure out what really the hell is wrong with them.
They don't, they're not looking all there. That's all. Because that's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. We'll see, man. We'll see. You got some winners. You got some winners and losers of the week.
Yeah, I switched the loser from
Oh.
what I sent you. I sent you Baltimore, but then I changed my mind and I was like, it's Green Bay because you, you can't go to London. You can't go to London and lose to the Giants. Fine, you travel across the pond early as fuck in the morning. I'll give you that one. But the New York Jets at home against Zach Wilson and the Jets. I'm sorry. It's Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. It's just bad. And then my winner, we already know. And then it fell to the Buffalo Bills. But from college football, my winner is the Tennessee Volunteers.
Mm.
I have to take a little victory lap. I went on our sister podcast, the college football podcast, is recorded on Tuesdays with Byron, Martin, and Cedric. And I told these niggas, I was like, listen, if there's a team that's going to beat Alabama, it's going to be Tennessee. And I said it then, and I say it now. And Tennessee did it on Saturday. They let them know. I knew it. I had a feeling Alabama was not going to go into Neyland Stadium and beat those clowns. They just weren't going to do it. They just weren't going to do it after almost losing to A&M the week before. I was like, yep, there's no way. Bryce Young came back. Bryce Young was amazing. I mean, Tennessee, I said on the podcast a month ago, their defense is awful. And it is. But they can score the football of anyone. And it came down to that. And they got a walk-off field goal to win. And the Tennessee Volunteer fans destroyed Knoxville. And I could not be happier for them. I'm just biggest winner of football this past weekend. The Tennessee Volunteers. Shout out to them. Rocky Top, baby.
Yeah. I'll have more to say about Tennessee when everyone does listen to that college football podcast. I'll be coming out because I do have a lot to say about Tennessee and where college football is going to be at going into week 8. But winner, I agree with the Bills, but I actually had 2 more. Obviously, I did have the Giants because they're 5-1, but individual wise, because they're winning. And we just talked about them. Bailey Zappi. New England's gonna have to think, man. I'm being serious.
Yeah, the more Bailey Zapp, I mean, he had 300 passing yards against the Browns. It wasn't just like a game manager type situation. Like he was actually making some plays.
Yeah.
The AFC East as a whole, Tua comes back Sunday night against the Steelers, which that's just poetic right there. Tua comes back literally when the whole world's about to be watching. So that's going to be fun. Jets are 4-2. Buffalo, probably the best team in the NFL, and then the Patriots are winning games too. Like,
and the Jets, like that division, technically, because there's 2, 3, and 3. There's no losing teams currently, which we did not think the Patriots would be 3-3 right now.
No, they're one of the biggest surprises of the season. Their offense, Matt fucking Patricia, OC. We might have to rethink what we said. We blasted them on the preview. I mean, Matt Patricia's your fucking OC. Like, good luck.
And I don't know how the Jets are winning. I really don't. You talk about the Jets. I don't know how New York is winning right now.
The Jets, they have a good defense. Quentin Williams, Sauce Gardner, UC product. They can run the ball. Brees Hall and then Michael Carter, and Zach Wilson's not fucking up. I mean, he only had to throw it. They're winning. They're winning in the margins. They're winning on defense. They're running the ball. Zach Wilson only threw like 18 times against the Packers. I know they had a block punt, a return of. They picked up some kick for a touchdown. So yeah, they're winning that way. And yeah, I don't know how they're winning either. I was in Cleveland and watched that Browns game and that they had literally no business winning, being down 13 points with only like 2 minutes left. Yeah, they're finding ways to win as well. Like you said, how the fuck is New York football, NFL professional football winning?
Technically, you could say that's a winner too. New York football.
Yeah, the New York pro football.
It's crazy. But yeah, loser, Baltimore. And then you obviously just change it to Green Bay. I agree with Green Bay. I can throw in just both number 12s, Brady and Rodgers. We both had them close to the playoffs, in the playoffs. They got to do something because it's looking like the rest of these teams in the league, especially the one you just talked about, Atlanta, 3-3. So, because Tampa Bay, I only think they're going to get in because if they win the division, because the NFC East is taking spots. And you look at the NFC West, 49ers 3-3, Rams just won 3-3. Another surprise, man. Seattle's 3-3.
Man, Geno fucking Smith. Shout outs to that, man.
They're doing something. The more Carroll and them are winning theirs, making Russell look bad.
They're making Russell look like he was the problem.
Yeah.
They are. Yeah. It's clear that the rest of the Seahawks, all his teammates, they look happier that he's not there. They look a lot happier. But going back to the 12s, Aaron and Brady. I mean, shit. Tom Brady, he has a legitimate excuse. He's going to legitimate, personal issues that I will not speak of because I don't know what the fuck going on. But what's Aaron Rodgers' excuse? What is that man's excuse? He's too busy. Off the Native American tea? He sounds fried. Like he sounds.
Well,
he's doing junky activities instead of fucking instead of executing a NFL quarterback.
Well, he should have played in the preseason. I'm gonna say it. You have a whole new wide receiver core. You should have at least played a couple of series with them.
I mean, just give a shit about practice. Yeah, come to fucking practice. Show your face, Mister. I want to take all the money so we can't pay Devontae Adams and then show up playing like shit and then get mad when niggas drop the ball. These niggas are rookies. You have a rookie receiving core. These niggas are young. Guide them, Aaron Rodgers, but nah. It's like he's too big for the problems that the Packers have. Like, nigga, you were there too. Like, you're part of the problem too.
Well, the problem with the thing, because he in that whole summer he was all about him. If he would have made a decision earlier, Devontae still would have been there. He was taking a sweet ass time, and by the time he said, "I'm coming back," Devontae's like, "I already signed with the Raiders."
I know.
That's on him.
I know. I sometimes think it does with Devontae Adams. Does he think about maybe if I stayed at Green Bay? But I don't think he's missing the Packers too much. I mean, I know the Raiders are, record-wise worse, but it's probably more enjoyable to have Derek Carr as your quarterback than Aaron Rodgers, personality-wise. We're not talking about talent, just I
think personality
as a person to deal with.
I mean, yeah, because they play together in college. I would also think with Devontae, when you're playing with these quarterbacks, there's more pressure on Aaron Rodgers than a Derek Carr. No disrespect to Derek Carr, but no one's going to say, oh, he was one of the greatest quarterbacks of the generation. He was one of the greatest ever. That's the pressure Rodgers is dealing with. Carr is just if they get to the AFC Championship game, that's a super success. Rodgers is every time when you're going to win that Super Bowl, and then when he doesn't, that whole team gets blamed, including Devontae. It's just that type of pressure. You don't have to deal with that shit anymore. Your team just is ass.
Yeah, that's a good point because you're right. I know Devontae Adams is not the problem in Vegas.
No.
I know that for a fact. I don't even think Derek Carr's the problem.
Well, I'm on the Josh McDaniels is the problem for me. I've been saying this off record. I'll say it on record. The only time this dude was winning games as a head football coach is when he was running the stuff with Tim Tebow. Any other time, this dude is not proven he is a good head coach. He reneged on the Colts, and then he's not proven it to me. There's a lot of coaches right now who have some jobs. One that we just saw in Denver, they are not looking like they were not built for this.
Let's give McDaniels some more time. I mean, the stuff that he was able to do in New England, I just have to give him some more time.
Well, how much was that? Was that him?
And this, I mean, it was a part. He played a part in it now.
He played a part in it, but when he doesn't have Brady, he looks suspect.
I know when Brady didn't have McDaniels when he was
Yeah, that's
coaching
true.
the Broncos and doing that shit, they weren't winning Super Bowls either. So that's my comeback to that. But yeah, I like to see the Raiders get more time than Josh McDaniels. Nathaniel Hackett with Denver, I've seen enough of them. How does Russell Wilson go from someone that legitimately scared me with 2 minutes left to me watching this game um an hour ago saying these niggas can't do a fucking thing. He can't do anything. No one like yeah, I feel Nathaniel Hackett took the aura out of Russell Wilson. I really do. But Russell Wilson
It's
doesn't
the
know.
Broncos who we've said for 3-4 years. They have an amazing defense. They got all these weapons. They just need a quarterback. They just need one. Haven't had one since Peyton. You mortgaged your whole future on Russell. Gave all those picks to the Seahawks. Now they got them picks. They got Geno, who, am I saying he's going to be the future cornerstone? No, but he's currently doing well right now. So what are you doing? Because they're not going to make the playoffs. Broncos can't score over 20 points.
They average 15 points a game. They scored 16 points this game in overtime. 2 straight overtime games, and it's a total of less than 40 points.
I don't even want to, whatever. So I don't even want to say this, but I saw a thing where like Richard Sherman and them were talking on their little podcast, and they were talking about
Hall of Fame Richard Sherman. Go ahead.
How hard it was to get in contact with Russell Wilson while they were on the same team. And to me, I said, that makes no sense. They're like, Russell Wilson wasn't, this is them. Russell Wilson wasn't even giving out his personal number. You had to contact him through his manager.
For teammates had to go through the manager to talk to Russell Wilson.
That's what Sherman and them
outside the facility is. That's what Richard Sherman said.
Yeah, on his pod, I saw the tweet. I'll try and find before I go to sleep. But yeah,
that man, he is Hater Hall of Fame with Russell Wilson being total dog shit right now. So you gotta take that shit with a grain of salt. Mm-hmm. But if it is true, like Russell Wilson, quite frankly, who the fuck do you think you are?
I honestly don't think
it's, like, who do you think you are?
Some of me doesn't even think it's him. Most of it.
I know Kyle Brandt from Good Morning Football on the NFL Network. I know he said that like NFL Honors, the NFL's little award show, like him and Sierra will be there, and they will not talk like every other NFL player. You know, they talking to everybody, talking to the media, like they all colleagues for real. And Russell Wilson and Sierra just in the corner, just taking pictures with the paparazzi, like don't talk to me type shit. Like they too good for this shit.
Yeah, and I just sent you the thing so you can look it up to Ron, but there's just a lot of stuff going on. Like we did the 2-2 thing last time. We don't have time to do that now, but in 2 weeks, we got a whole bunch of teams 3-3. We're already next time we're recording is going to be the end of. Will we be in November?
Yeah, we have one more. It's like one more. It'll be the end of October. Halloween's on Monday, so yeah, it'll be November 1st, I believe.
Wow. So we're already be in November the next time we record, but these games are getting more and more intense going on. Justin, anything else go? Do you have early season? Oh, we're getting to that point. Do you have an early season MVP? I'm gonna throw that. I know that wasn't on the notes.
Early season MVP. Damn. You would have asked me 2 weeks ago. I would have said Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, that's what I would have said the same thing.
We'll come back in 2 weeks and I'll like look into it and see what I really think. But like off the top of my head right now, Josh Allen.
Okay, that's not a bad pick. I might have to take the guy in Philadelphia because his team is surprisingly 6-0 at the moment.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts is eating right now.
All I know is for the first time in the past 6 years, it will not be Aaron Rodgers. Unless his team goes on a crazy run.
They're not going to give him the MVP again.
But with that being said, thank you everyone for listening to the L7C podcast. Make sure you like, rate, comment, subscribe. We'll be back in a couple of weeks. That will be in November. So we already have a couple months down and more NFL data. Justin will be looking through, maybe have an MVP one after he checks some of the stats and see what happens in week 8. But besides that, Justin, anything you want to say? Last thing?
Go Volunteers!
Go Volunteers. They got a game, which I'll talk about on the college football. Make sure you listen. They got Kentucky this week. And then
they play Kentucky in 2 weeks. They play fucking UT Martin.
Yeah, UT, then to Kentucky.
They're going with the dog shit. They're going with the dog shit.
Then Georgia, which I don't like that stretch, the Kentucky, Georgia back-to-back. But I'll talk about that later. But with that being said, this is the L7C podcast, signing out. Thank you for listening to this episode of the L7C podcast. Be sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all social media platforms, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. Take care.